Today I have my friend Bob here. He wants to learn how to play the piano and already watched our music alphabet video and practiced finding notes on the keyboard. Right, Bob?
That's right.
Building chords is also easy. And the idea I will teach you today was first expressed by the famous composer and music theory teacher called Jean-Philippe Rameau, early in the 18th century.
That's a long time ago. I think that's about the time when my grandma was born.
Well, I don't think that she was that old. But anyway, see, the principles that Jean-Philippe Rameau wrote in his music theory book in 1722 still work for the vast majority, most kinds of music, from classical to sacred, from pop to you name it, types of music today. They all follow the same basic principles for building chords. And the most basic principle is the one I am about to teach you. Are you ready? Skip a note.
What?
Yes, that's it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that this fancy wig-wearing guy wrote about this simple rule 300 years ago and everybody followed him on that?
Well, basically, yes. Everybody in the western side of the world. Okay, hang in there. The most basic chords that we built have 3 notes. And they are called the triads, meaning a 3-note chord. Excuse me, Bob, let me show you. So let's build a C triad. We start with the C and then skip a note. So if you remember 2 black notes, the one on the left is the C. So let's get the middle C and skip a note. We'll skip the D and then we get the E and then skip a note, the F, and we play the G. And that's the C triad. Therefore, a C triad will always have the notes C, some sort of E, and some sort of G. And that's it. So let's try building a D triad. So it'll be the same principle. You start with the D. Now that was the C, so we start with the D. And we skip a note, the E, and we play the F, and we skip a note, which is the G, and play the A, and that's the D triad. So if you keep applying the same rule, skip a note, it works even for chords with more than 3 notes. For example, let's add one more note and build a 4-note C chord. You just need to skip another note. So starting with C, let's keep the 2nd note, which is a D, from C, and play the E. Let's skip the 4th note from C, which is the F, and play the G. Let's skip the 6th note from C, which is an A, and play the B, which is the 7th note from C. And voila! This is the 4-note C chord. I want you to try it.
Well, I think I got it. If I want to play a 4-note chord from D, I play the D, skip the 2nd note from D, play the F, skip the 4th note from D, play the A, skip the 6th note from D, and play the 7th note. Did I get it right?
That's exactly right, you got it. However, you need to watch my videos on technique, the primary action videos, because playing with your shoulders, arms and fingers like you did is certainly going to cause problems. Besides, extremely limiting what you will be able to play. Well, going back to chords. It is just the same. If you want to build a 5-note C chord, which will go all the way to the 9th note from C, and so forth. So if you want to build a chord all the way to the 11th note from C, or even the 13th note from C, it follows exactly the same rule. Skip a note.
Now, wait a second. I heard Uncle John saying that there are all kinds of chords. Some are called major, some are called minor, some demented, and some augmented. How about that?
The biggest majority of chords are built just like I told you. Skip a note. But yes, your Uncle John was right in saying that there are different names for chords, or more specifically, for triads. And they are major, minor, diminished, and augmented. The difference between these chords is the distance between the notes after you applied the skip a note rule. I'll tell you all about that in our next video, so stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and I'll teach you that.